Okay, I'm here to continue my series of team previews, I should say. Continue that, but also want to show off my Snowdown shop. Big gift. Oh yeah, Cottontail Fizz. That was one of the skins I would have wanted. I ended up getting, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I'm gonna try AD Fizz. I'm not really sure what to build. Not really sure what to do with it, but something I'm gonna try to figure out and.
Come on, let's go! 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Never really played it, so I'm not sure how it goes. But I'm really jacked about this skin.
Swimmingly.
It looks kind of weird in it, but I like it. I definitely like it. I don't like the bunny that pops up too, so spoiler alert. But I also want to announce before I talk about the team, which will be CLG, the second NA team, who at least took first in spring, or no, took first in summer. But I want to announce that I'll be playing some other games. Just got some on a big Steam New Year's sale. I'm excited to try out some new games. Definitely love that sale, but I'm ready to try it all out and start something new here. But so the team I'm talking about now is CLG, Counter Logic Gaming. So, how would I describe their year? Solid. Okay, so they started the year. They got Xmithy, they had Zion Spartan. Mid was Link. They kept. I heard rumors they might get someone else, but they kept him. They had Double Lift and Afram Bottom, famous bot lane. Okay, hopefully I live here. I'm. Okay, come on, live. This way. This is important. Oh no. Oh no. Dang it. Okay, I suck. But they had the famous rush hour bot lane with Double Lift and Aftermove. And I mean, I think they had solid expectations coming into the year. And they actually, I think in spring they started out pretty hot, and then they threw a game against CSM, and then their year was it was still good, but they weren't great. And then going into summer, they got rid of Link. There was a huge manifest about how the team environment, I would say they said the team environment's kind of toxic. A lot of stuff going on there that was kind of... So, that's what happened there. And they got rid of Link, and then they also... They didn't get rid of anyone else. I'm correct. Yeah, no, they kept the same. They got a new coach, if I'm correct. I think they got Chris in the spring. Or summer, I mean. So, the team was looking... Oh boy, I'm gonna get this wave here. So, the team was looking a little bit better because they got rid of Link and replaced with Pole Belter, who I think, despite being on Winter Fox, he actually... I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of him overall. But that's because... I shouldn't have got eat again. But, I'm just not, like, I've never, like, super liked him or anything. I mean, it's not, like, nothing against him. It's just he's never been one of the players I root for. But I think he's a good player. He's a top NA mid laner. I mean, that's not much to say either, but he is good. And then the year starts out. They start out. I mean, they're solid in the group. Nothing too special, I would say, but they're doing well. Okay, let's go. Come on. So I'm just gonna get this kill here. So they start out solid. I mean, there was Gravitas on top, Tip was on top, TSM wasn't on top. Okay, there. So TSM wasn't on top. C9 wasn't, but it was Tip, Gravity. I think those were the only two, and then CLG were kind of fighting over it the whole year. And CLG ends up being number 1 seed going into the playoffs, and they win the summer playoffs. They win it. They wouldn't. I wouldn't say convincingly. I guess, well, the final was convincing. I'd say the other games weren't as convincing. But, I mean, they won it. And they 3-0'd TSM in the finals. Even though TSM necessarily wasn't one of the favorites, like, going into the finals. But they 3-0'd them, so they're looking good. They got their draw going in the Worlds. It was against, they got probably one of the easier groups. I would say almost the easiest. It was Tigers, who were a Korean team, probably the weaker of all the Korean teams. They had Yoi Flashwells, which was a Taiwanese team, who was kind of lucky to get in. And not many people expect much from them. And then they had Pain Gaming, who was in Brazil, and I mean that's a wild card. They weren't expecting much either. And CLG started out 2-1. They looked okay. I mean their wins weren't convincing, but they won, and that was the key. So they were set up to advance out, but then the infamous 0-10 happened, including losing to Pain Gaming. But that one, I mean, took a lot of flack for that. But the team was done, and they were they knew they were out, and I don't think they really tried. And I mean, it doesn't look good that you lose to a wildcard team, so I'm not going to excuse that. But still, it was like they were. I don't think they had the best of spirits at the moment, and weren't really wanting to play anyways. So they kind of choked going into Worlds, or not going into, but at Worlds. But I think people are pretty excited. Like, okay, we can maybe do something minor, and we'll just stick together. I mean, we had a good year. Why not stick together and we'll figure it out? Well, and then the drama happened. So at Worlds, Smithy almost couldn't go because of visa issues. So Hui was going to be potential jungle, but he was also their mid lane sub. So Smithy ends up going. So Hui just is their sub still. He was initially going to be their starter this year, or like sub with Pole Vaulter, but he oh great, but he had visa issues as well. So Pole Vaulter started and just stayed that way in the summer. Well, Chris got let go, their coach, after a brilliant split, and a lot of fans liked him. So he gets let go. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna this. He gets let go, and Pole Vaulter gets let go too. Well, Pole Vaulter apparently they said they want Hui to start, or you can be like Easy Hoon. Pole Vaulter don't want that. So like terms are. So then Hui, not Hui, but Pole Vaulter just leaves then. And okay, so there's like, okay, now we're just gonna get mid laner, or they got one, it's Hui, and it seems kind of like, well, I don't get why you'd replace Pole Vaulter. He didn't do well at Worlds, but he did really well, I think, in the summer finals for playoffs. And he had a pretty good split. He's a pretty solid mid laner for NA terms at least. And Hui didn't do as well in the challenger scene as with Fusion, but I still think the guy's got potential. We'll talk about that later. So the roster, then they're like, okay, it'll still be solid, I think, stick together. Hui apparently worked better with the team, put in a lot of time. Still shows signs that this guy can do stuff, you know? But, not really, I did not know. So still showed signs that the team could do well with him, and maybe even better, potentially. Because Pole Vaulter, honestly, the team didn't do all Worlds, but he was a part of it, obviously. Oh boy. Okay, so there's one kill, but so they're starting. You're like, okay. I mean, they still got a chance. I mean, this will be a solid team, right? Well then, out of nowhere, fan favorite double gets let go and goes to TSM, the rival. Out of nowhere, like as a CLG fan, I would kind of be like I said in my TSM one, double isn't necessarily. I didn't really think he was great as what some people hyped him up to be, or didn't play that well this split. I didn't see him in his prime, but I mean he's still a good ADC, and he was like the fans, a lot of them watched because of him. And all of a sudden to be let go out of nowhere for no reason. So he's like, oh, and also the drama comes out. Like apparently, Aftermove made a decision like it's either him or me, and apparently like Hotshot was mad at Double Lift, and Double Lift was like in the middle of the night. So all this stuff, and I'm gonna suggest you guys read up on it yourselves if you want. But it's really complicated, and you can pick which side you want because, in all honesty, I mean, it can go either way. It's just like, it's just crazy how people like will turn on each other just like that, and you don't know who to trust, honestly. Like which one's the real story. So we'll just let that go. You look it up on yourself. You want the whole. You can look up the Chris pole vaulter, or Coach Chris, I should say. So just not Chris from Coast or formerly Coast, but Coach Chris, the pole vaulter, and the double situation. Look it up and you decide on yourself. Because the one thing I will say about this is, Hotshot does seem to like. He seems to keep on talking about it, keep on bringing up when it's in the past. So I don't know why he needs to defend himself so much about it, and just he's brought it up so many times, and that's one thing I don't like about on his approach. Just shut up and focus on repeating as champs and getting back to Worlds and doing better. That's all I want him to do. So back to the team. So now it's no ADC. You got to replace that, and potentially now apparently there's talk maybe Aftermove and Zion Spark we're going to, because Zion might be going to TSM because they need a top laner, and Aftermove like, oh, is he going to go to C9 because they need a support? Well, Aftermove stays, Zion stays, changes his name to Darshan now. That's his first name. I kind of like that. Zion Spartan was kind of a long, old baby. So this is going to be a free kill, right? Okay, so he changes his name, and like, who are we gonna get? Well, for IEM, they go with Stixay, who is the CLG Black ADC. And I mean, I think it was a solid pickup at the time just for the sub in IEM. So you like, for giving out there, you can still try other guys, but Stixay, he knows the organization. I think from what I saw in the Challenger Series, he was a solid ADC for IEM. Well, they go to IEM. And they ended up beating 2 teams, so I'm correct. I think they beat. Let me check here. They beat. Where's IEM San Jose? Okay, so San Jose IEM. We're gonna look at the League of Legends part of it. Taking a little bit longer than I hoped. So, CLG, first they went against, I believe, Jin Air. No, they went against Unicorns of Love first, and they beat them pretty solid. Unicorns of Love had a new team. They're, I mean, didn't look very good, but it was a convincing win on their part, if I'm correct. So, I mean, they 2-0'd them, but then they 2-0'd Jin Air, which, I mean, Jin Air lost some of their players, but that was nice to beat Koreans like that. And they got 3-0'd by Origen, but everyone saw that coming. So, overall, I was pretty happy with their performance there, and they decided that, yeah, that wasn't frozen, by the way, that was just, you get this? I don't know, I'm going to get attack speed. I'm going to go all in. I mean, that's probably not the smartest build, but oh well. So, they get a nice finish at IEM, and looking good, and it's like, okay, maybe they can convince Forgiven. A lot of people want to like bring Froggen back. Don't really get rid of Hui because Hui didn't look that good. I think he got dumpstered on by Power Reveal. I'm correct. I mean, I want to give the guy a shot still, but so then they decided like, okay, Stixay, we're gonna keep him long term, and we think we played well enough at IM, and we'll get into the roster part here and what I think of it. So, based on his performance at IM, and overall from just past, I think Stixay with Aftermove and the growth, he can be an above average ADC, and I think if Double Lift does fall off a little bit, Stixay could end up having a better year. But I mean, it'll be tough. I mean, really right now it's a downgrade. That's what it looks like.
No fear.
Unless it tends to fit better. If the team does better with like communication and working together, then maybe not. But okay, wait, gotta get double kill here.
They won't catch me.
Oh man. So. Okay. So, I think it could work better. I mean, Stixay, I don't know what to say of his game, like his style yet. But we'll see how they work together. I mean, I would need to watch more to see. The Hui, I want to give that guy a chance. Just from watching his, like, when you see him, like, with his team, it seems like he has fun. And that's why I want to give the guy a chance. It seems like he could be better for the team. I mean, it's not a guarantee yet. You don't know with that atmosphere, but I don't know if he's got as much potential. But I want to see what he can do. I want to give the guy a chance, and I think they're giving him a chance for a reason. They wouldn't sacrifice winning just because he's better with the team. And obviously something didn't work out that made them change that. So I say give the guy a shot at mid, and let's see how he can do. Now, Darshan did amazing at IEM. He looked really good, and I think that's a positive. If they can build their if they can use a triple threat offense and funnel resources into Darshan, I think they'll have a good chance. He's got good synergy with Xmithy, and I mean, Hui necessarily hasn't proven that he can carry yet. We'll see. And Stixay necessarily hasn't shown that he can be a carry DC yet either. So funnel as many resources as you can into Darshan and let him tear it up like he did some of those games. Now, you got Aframu, his shot calling. I think at times he needs to work on it a little bit. I still think it's one of the top. He's one of the better shot callers in NA. We'll see how the year goes. I mean, he's going to be obviously behind Yellowstar and High, but I think he's up there. I still think he's good, and it proved that they won Summer first, so I mean that shows something at least. But a little work to do yet. So this is like you just basic attack the car these guys or what? Oh, okay. I'm figuring out how it works. But
Wanna see a trick?
I think they got potential. And then Xmithy, I think I don't want to say he's an underrated jungler, but he gets a lot of crap for just missing some ults in like 2 games, which he shouldn't. I mean, he does. He's what they need. He doesn't. I mean, it's not like he's not necessarily going to carry a game, but he's not necessarily going to lose it for you. Although he has before, but that's different. I mean, the guy's a solid player, and he's gonna. It's proven that you can win NA with him on the team. And I mean, they got a new coach, and Chris did a good job. I'll make Chris did a good job with him. I mean, it's proven what he did. They won Summer with him, and that's the only thing where it's like, does that hurt that you lose him or not? Okay, here we go. Free kill. So that's gonna hurt, but we'll see how the new coach does. Hotshot needs to shut his mouth for them to be good. But I say for them this year, I think they can finish top 5. I'm gonna say 3rd to 5th. I don't see them finishing. I think potentially Cloud9 and Energy and possibly Immortals, and for all you know, Echo Fox or Renegades could finish above them. You don't know for sure, but I think they'll finish 3rd to 5th, somewhere in there. I still think they got what it takes to be good. I mean, they didn't improve, but they didn't get worse. But a lot of teams improved. That's the only problem where I see them struggling. So I would go with them 3rd to 5th. But I think what they need to be successful is they need Hui and 6A to grow to become above average plays in the LCS. They need Darshan to carry. He's going to need to be a carry on the team for them to be good. And if they do in summer, or I mean if they do in spring, it's because he flat out carried. That's the only way I can see it right now. I mean, you never know. 6A. I think 6A has potential to be a good AC though. I'll admit that. But they also need. They're gonna need Aframu to stick up or to step up his shot calling, and they're gonna need Hot Shot to just shut up. They need him to shut up. Let me flat. I mean, you might maybe his side's correct. If it is, then I mean, even if it is correct, he needs to just shut up. So now this game here. Now that I've said my piece about CLG, I'm gonna talk about oh baby, I'm a better AC. So I'm gonna talk about the second place team in EU, which is Origen. Now Origen was in Challenge Series last year. Xpeke first spring. Xpeke started the year, or he left Fnatic, so did Soaz. He started the team with Mithy as the original person. Yeah, Soaz joined. Soaz does. He talks to Reckless and says who would be a good ADC, and Reckless says this guy Niels is really good, so they sign him. And then they get Amazing, who left TSM because he's homesick, or that's like what I believe it is. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. But they get him, and he joins the team. So I mean, it's looking like a solid boat team there. And they wreck the Challenge Series. They only lose once. They go on to join the LCS. When they join the LCS, the team shows that they're one of the top teams, but still needs work during the split. I mean, there was hints of them doing good, but there was also points where it was kind of, I don't know how to say it. They were they didn't look like they would be a top team. But I mean, I think that was still them getting used to the pro play. I mean, the Challenge Series is different. You still kind of, I'm sure they scrimmage top teams, but it's still different. And some of those guys were new, like, oh wow, I suck. Oh man. Okay, so I mean, I guess when you're fed, AD Fizz isn't bad. But I think they're just adjusting, and then they go through the playoffs in summer. They make they're the 2 seed. I think they end up beating H2K for the 2 seed, and they do solid in the playoffs. I mean, they made it through enough that they get to the finals, so I'll call that solid. I mean, and they're going against Fnatic because they haven't lost yet. And you I mean, me going into it, I'm like, okay, I hope they can just take a game, because their playoff performances weren't necessarily the best, but they weren't terrible. And all of a sudden, I believe they're the ones that just barely got by Rollcat, if I'm correct, or Rockcat. I don't know. Someone tell me how to pronounce it correctly. Which one? First or second? Rollcat is first, Rockcat is second. Or tell me if they're both wrong, okay? So, there was that. And then, but then they get to the final, and the first game, like I've said this in the Fnatic video, they just crushed them. It was one of my favorite performances of the year. I wanted Fnatic too, so I like underdogs, and they just crushed them. It wasn't even close. So that happened, and it was like, okay, on to the next one. And they lose the next one, third one they lose, fourth one they're losing, and the game's pretty much over. Somehow they pull it out. I don't know how, don't ask me how, but they do. So that was it was crazy going to 5th game and lose, but that was good to see. And going into Worlds, you're like, okay, they have a chance now. They do have a chance to win it. They for sure got a chance to make it out of groups. But they get drawn into the group with LGD, who's a favorite. K2 is probably the second best Korean team going in. That's what people thought, at least. And then TSM, who was one of the top NA teams. Now, Origen and TSM, at the time, I'd have said, oh wow, you want to go, Caitlyn? I guess I'm just going to chunk you down. So, going to it, I would have said that Origen was a better team, but their shots to gain out of the group were kind of equal. Both of them would have to play really well. Well, Origen went 3-0 the first day. It looked really nice. And now it's just like, okay, how well can they do once they get out of groups here? Because, I mean, people had them get out of groups. They were. I don't think people projected them or C9 collapse the way C9 actually did. But because what could they do? And then they get the nice, they make it out, and they get a nice draw of Yoi Flash Rolls who made it to the groups, but they weren't necessarily a favorite to win it. Like put Origen against SKT or Fnatic or groups that are like who are KT. Those games would have been tougher, but Yoi, you could be confident that they could win, and they do. So then you go into the game with so they beat them, and then they got to play SKT, and you're like, for me, I really thought Origen was going to beat him. I thought it was going to be an upset. I was getting jacked. First game, they kind of blew the game a little bit, but it's not like they were in full control of the game. Second game, they got, I don't want to say tilted, but they lost the lead, and then it was kind of like they just kind of like, I don't want to say gave up, but they stopped trying, maybe. I don't want to say stopped trying either. So the third game they lost right away, and then it was just I didn't like that at all. It wasn't fun to watch them. They were just kind of like just dicking around at the end, and it just I don't know. It kind of sucked that you make it that far and then you don't even like attempt to. I mean, the game was lost, but I just wish it had been like, okay, let's not quit here. Let's see what we can do. Even though I guess against SKT, I would have quit also. So they get knocked out there in the semifinals, which is more than anyone expected of them. I mean, Expeke is a Worlds god. He does so well at Worlds, it's amazing. And but even though they didn't do well at Worlds, even though they did do well at Worlds, the expectations got higher for the next year because odds are you're going to keep the whole team. Well, they didn't just keep the whole team. They picked up a member who's Power of Evil, who pretty much carried Unicorns Love the whole year. So I mean, that's a great pickup. Expeke he's going to sub, but he's subbing because he said he doesn't got enough time to practice full time. Well, then I don't know why he's going to keep playing because, you know what I mean? Like you don't got why even play that if you don't got enough time? And to be honest, I think Power of Evil might be a better player, except at Worlds. Worlds, I mean, Expeke is a different guy. So we'll see there. They go to IEM with Power of Evil and they wreck. It was just a dominating performance. It wasn't even close. Okay, here we go. So they just dominate Worlds. It's simple, or not Worlds. They dominate IEM, tear it up, just completely wreck. Wasn't even close. TSM crushes CLG. Well, it doesn't crush, but beats them. Origen just spanks them. Origen spanks CLG. Origen spanks. Who they play in the? They played. Oh yeah, they played TSM. They spanked the two NA teams. Doesn't look good for NA, that's for sure. But hopefully they can improve. But just spank them. And then, I mean, Power of Evil, they looked really good. I mean, he's gonna be good. Obviously, I think it's a good pickup. And I think the team's going to improve, and I think that I have them as a favorite to win EU with the changes to Fnatic, at least Spring Split. They're the most there. They got a lot of talent. Amazing played out of his mind at All-Stars, which was kind of cool to see. I mean, because I've dissed him before. I wouldn't say diss, but I've said that he didn't really show much to me last year. I mean, there's times where he played well, but easy kill, easy kill. Yeah, bring me a teammate. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so that's easy. So, I'll give him credit for that. He showed me up, that's for sure. So, Soaz needs to work on. I'll go from top to bottom here. So Soaz can be a crazy carry guy. One of my favorite plays this year was triple kill against Fnatic when he was Gangplank. I think that holy cow, I got a lot of money. I think that he just needs to work on being more consistent. When he's his best, he is very good, without a doubt. Well, there's some times where he just doesn't. Here we go. So he needs to work on being more consistent. Amazing needs to play like he does at All-Stars. He needs to be aggressive. I think he needs to be more aggressive. If he's aggressive like he was at All-Stars, I think you're going to be setting up kills, you're going to get kneels, and Power of Evil, and so is all snowballing. That's easy win. It's going to be the thing that you got with Amazing. You got 3 carries in every role who can carry, and you get them snowballing, you're going to win the game. So Power of Evil, I think he just got to play like he does at Unicorns Low. Not cheesing much, but do like his Oriana. I love watching his Oriana. I didn't like his Kale, that's for sure. I liked when he played Syndra. I think it was kind of fun when he played Syndra at first. But he's got potential to be a top 3 mid laner EU, and I think he's got potential to be the best. And you put him on a team like this, I mean, he could be the Fabevin of last year, where when you got a team around you, you can just flat out carry and look amazing. And be amazing. Not like the jungler amazing, you know, like be amazing. Like the verb, the noun, not the verb. Don't even listen to me here. So, the adjective, there we go. Good thing I'm not an English major, right? But, I think that in the bottom lane, with Niels and Mithy, you got the best bottom lane in EU, and one of the better ones in the world. I think Mithy is a good shot caller, and I really think Niels, if you can carry, he can carry with the right resources, and he's proved it. I mean, he's a good, really good ADC, that's for sure. And I think, let's wait. Okay, so I think that he can be like, I don't want to say it likes bad, I don't use that word, but I think he can be the best ADC EU has seen ever. I mean, I've never seen the scene for a long time, but I think he could be the best that they've ever seen. I mean, even though God-Given had a really, like, that summer split was amazing that he had, so I mean, I don't know if you can beat that, but you know what I mean. So I would go with this team though. I got them winning EU. I got them crushing EU. I got them, if everything stayed the same, if I had to pick Worlds today, and we like sim through the split, I got them going to Worlds, and I got them, I would pick them, if I had to go today, I would pick them. I don't want to say a favorite to win Worlds, but I tell you what, if I had to pick 3 teams to win Worlds, I'd pick them. I really do. I really think that. Oh wow! I'm gonna miss your ult, Lux. So, I mean, you got SKT up there. You got a wild. It's not a wild card team, but some other team. But I think that right now they're one of the favorites. If EU can keep up their progression from, I mean, Season 4 didn't go well at Worlds, but the way they played at MSI and going into Worlds, they're looking like they can be a powerhouse to compete with Korea. And while NA and China lag behind, and then wild card isn't there yet. I mean, they still need work. And the Taiwanese scene, I mean, they're up there too, but I think EU right now is, if someone's going to dethrone Korea, it's going to be them. And I think the chances of Origen, if we start Worlds tomorrow with the 3 projected top teams, I'd take them versus SKT in the final. Even though SKT had to replace my Rin. So we'll see how they do. They might not do as well either. So this could be the year to take it, without a doubt. So, do I think they'll win? Not necessarily, but they're a favorite. They're my top team in EU. Took second last year, but this year, it's a different year. Oh god, I got shut down. So yeah, I got them as a favorite. There we go. Game should be over. My guess would be to end. 3 ace? No. So, my next two teams will be C9 and then H2K. I'm excited to talk about both, even though I'm not happy with H2K, me being an NA kind of guy. Some other comments at the end of their IEM, which we'll talk about. But both these teams look like they got good potential, and both of them I project top 3. Just waiting for this game to end, since I mean, if anyone's watching this, you know, like it, subscribe it, comment. I want to see some comments. I like talking about this stuff. I mean, I'm talking about these teams, but there's still a lot of things I'm not like good on. Like, you know, like, so I talk about Soaz. I'd say he needs to be more consistent. I mean, you might have proof that he is consistent. There is some times where I feel like his gameplay, he just kind of doesn't get tilted, but I just feel like he plays really aggressive some games, like too aggressive, and just stays the whole game, and I don't know how to describe it. I need you people to figure it out for me. I'm just trying to give a rough overview. This was requested by my brother who doesn't watch as much LCS. He kind of said something about this one time, so I thought it'd be fun to do. So that's the reason why I'm doing it. I'm no expert, but with my meta, I'm not really good with the meta. Like all of a sudden they're like, okay, like Mundo's meta now. Looks, he got buffed a little bit, and I mean, there are some champs meta, and also I'm like good to see a champ follow the meta, even though nothing happened to him or her. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I guess it affects what other champs are in the meta, I guess. But you see what I'm getting at. Jeez Louise. What real team I know. I should have used fork on the last one though. I know I'm just backdooring here. GG. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, please. Thank you.